All right, folks, what is going on? Back with another episode 522 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk about the defense once again. Last week, I said that Ryan Nielsen would be an excellent choice for the Atlanta Falcons. I gave you my reasons behind that when we talked about him having, ties to the Saints, and it came to fruition. And the response you guys gave was phenomenal. I want to thank you guys for coming through, watching the video. The last videos went bonkers. Even the last episode, that episode 519, is going crazy right now. And we got over 1,300 subs over here on YouTube. I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And we're just going to keep it moving with the opinions, the analysis, and everything under the umbrella. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So if you want to listen to the show at your leisure, you can go and subscribe to any of those podcast avenues. It will be much appreciated. Also, this show is brought to you by BetUS. Click that link down in the description. Put down $100. Get 125% bet book bonus. The Super Bowl is coming up. You can bet on any of those games. Or that game, or the NBA, MMA. You can also bet on esports, anything under the umbrella, and any person in that realm. You can bet on almost anything from a half of a game, quarter of a game, a Pacific player, anything. You can do all of that. So click that link down there. It helps the show, and I really would appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Ryan Nielsen is now the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, and it is a great thing. I think it may not have been the best move, but in terms of what we're doing in Atlanta and our rival versus our rival, the Saints, this is an excellent move. Also, this is a defensive guy, a bona fide defensive guy. Not saying that Dean Pease wasn't, but this guy played defensive lineman for USC. He was going to take the job at LSU as a defensive coordinator under Ed Orgeron, but it didn't work out. But what he did was, he stayed with the Saints, built up his resume a little bit more, and with his familiarity with Terry Fontenot, got him over to Atlanta. And the thing about Coach Nielsen, he's very similar to Coach Arthur Smith. He played defensive lineman at USC. Coach Arthur Smith played offensive lineman at UNC. So these guys are what their background is. Arthur Smith loves doing things on defense. Arthur Smith loves doing things on offense. Ryan Nielsen is the defensive guy. He loves doing things on defense. And for him to bring that toughness, that nastiness, just like how Coach Arthur Smith wants the same thing for offense, these two guys should be able to mesh together and do very, very well. I can see this turning into something really big down the road. Because I don't believe this is a one and done for Nielsen. He's going to be a part of this process of us building a championship legacy when it comes to the Falcons. And I think we are on that path, believe it or not. We can get out of, we should be able to get out of this division. We should be able to make some noise in the playoffs. We still have a young team, and we have a lot of core guys in certain areas on this team. We just need the right coach. We need the right vision, and we need the right path to get to it. Everything that Coach Arthur Smith has been doing has basically getting that together. Last few times we've been putting a lot of stake into the offense. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Tyler Algier, Desmond Ridder, a couple of guys on the offensive line. We did do a little bit on the defensive side as well. But I think this draft now, in this offseason, we're going to be putting a lot of chips on defense. We're going to be doing a lot when it comes to defense coming up. So this is what I expect, honestly. When the draft comes, we're going to be drafting maybe, I think we got like 9 picks. I think out of those picks, we're probably going to be going maybe around 6. I'll say 6 to 8 picks. I know that 8 is a lot. But 6 to 8 picks that's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. If not, we're going to at least do 5 guys on the defensive side of the ball and go crazy in the offseason as far as free agency. Goodness, I kind of lost my thought just then. Because when you look at what we need, you see what we need: pass rush. The linebackers is kind of solidified, but pass rush. We need a cornerback number 2. I also believe that we need some more help in the secondary. I think AJ Terrell or Richie Grant is going to be good. I don't know what Casey Harris is going to look like, but I think we're going to get a CB2. Isaiah Oliver, he's played that 1 year deal to a T. I think he's done pretty well for himself. He may get paid here or somewhere else, but I think we're going to get us a cornerback 2 and another safety. Pass rush is going to be a big deal for Ryan Nielsen, so I would not be surprised if we get I wouldn't be surprised if we get 1, maybe 2, in some cases 3 new faces on the defensive line. Whether it be through the draft or whether it be through the free agency. Because we were dead last. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I think we were like 31st in how many sacks we accumulated this past season. So we're going to have to find a way to get some type of pass rush. So I feel as we're going to be doing an overhaul on that as well. I think we're going to be doing an overhaul on the secondary. Now, I like what we got with Lorenzo Carter. I like what we got with Trey Anderson and Rashaan Evans. Will those guys, I think that Lorenzo Carter and Rashaan Evans on 1 year deals, will they resign? I don't know, but getting this defensive coordinator, I think that's going to help, get that done. I think we're going to be closer to resigning those guys. What other defensive guys are out there that we could pull? I don't like to get in too much of the speculation of who we bringing in whenever. I like to react instead of actually, speculate. When those names come across the wire as possible candidates or who's going to get interviewed or who's the guys that Terry Fontenot and them looking at, then I usually try to give an assessment. But just to say that this player is a free agent now, we're probably going to get him. I don't know that. Because we don't know what the process is of what Fontenot, what Coach Arthur Smith and Nielsen is going to do. We just don't know what the GM and the coaches are going to do. We just don't know. But with that being said, it would be nice to see these guys be aggressive. Put all your chips in on defense. Because as much as the offense, how much we love talking about offense, I think the offense is actually in a pretty decent shape. No, you can't have enough receivers. I do feel that we could get us a slot guy, put Jared Bernhardt, bring him up to be that slot guy. Maybe Zacchaeus get re-signed. Well, maybe we get a real wide receiver number 2, which I think that's going to be one of those offensive picks that we do get if we don't pull one in the free agency. But I think we're going to lean toward defense a lot. We need that. You know what I mean? I think we need it. So with that being said, I can't wait to see what goes on here. Let's get 2 or 3 defensive linemen. Let's get 2 or 3 cornerbacks. Not just in the draft, of course. I'm just talking about throughout this entire offseason. Let's get us some guys that can get to the quarterback. Let's get some guys who don't mind being ball hawks. Let's get some guys who can cover a little bit. I would love to see that. And I think that's where we're probably going to be headed. So we may get some guys on offense, maybe drive 1 or 2 people, get some guys that could come in during the offseason on the free agency side. Draft, I think we're going to go 6. Maybe, I know I said a lot when I said 8 because I think we got 9 picks. But I think 6 of those guys may be defense. Now, I'm not joking when I say that. Defense is going to be the emphasis. We're going to I feel like the Falcons are going to put a lot of chips into that. And I think that's going to be where we're going to start thriving it. Because the offense, as young as they are, was carried by 3 rookies. And I'm not saying that the offense was just young. I mean, literally, 3 rookies were carrying the offense in the last 3 or 4 games of the season. Algier, Ritter, and London. So that we kind of got a nucleus there. Cordell Patterson comes back in the mix. You get a wide receiver number 2. Kyle Pitts come back. You got something there. Let's get some guys on the offensive line to make sure our quarterback is protected. Or those guys that are already there continue to get better and just start pushing things on the defense and put more emphasis on that. You know what I mean? I think that's what we can get. I think that's where we're going. even with all the guys that we have, the D'Angelo Malones, the Troy Andersons, the, you know, all the other things that we got going on there, I think we still can boast up that we just can't have enough. Grady Jarrett, Ebikete, those guys gonna need help. Taquan Graham, Ogundeji. We get those guys rotating in and out, going after the quarterback at all phases of the game. So that's just my opinion. I think that's how it goes. I think the Falcons gonna be putting a lot of chips on defense, and we're going to see how well it works. I think we're going to be in for some exciting times with the Falcons. I mean, we were doing very well with what we had. We overachieved, in my opinion. I ain't gonna say we did very well, but we definitely overachieved when it came to the actual situation with this team. The Matt Ryan situation, the Marcus Mariota situation. We still won 7 games despite what was going on. So once we get more of that, more fortified with better players that, we finally can get with the cap space in this draft and the new defensive coordinator, we should be able to do some things. I'm really, really interested to see how that goes. And I didn't know what to say in the end, but that's how I felt. I was really, tongue-tied a little bit. Nevertheless, if you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for the support once again. You guys have been amazing. I really, really appreciate it with all the things you guys have done with the last few days, coming and checking out the channel. You guys have been awesome. I really, really appreciate it. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Let me know what you guys think when it comes to this whole situation on defense. Do we put a lot of chips in on defense? I think we do. I think we do a little bit on offense, but the defense is definitely what's needed, and this type of defensive coordinator really sets the tone of that. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get up out of here. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.